Breaking news, a Metro police officer in the hospital right now after being shot tonight by a suspected shoplifter. Now, in the last couple of hours, we've learned new information from police and from witnesses about what led to that gunfire. Also want to give you a look at where that happened. This was on Galaxy Lane near 25th and Post on the city's east side. We have live team coverage for you tonight at 11. David McAnally is at Eskenazi Hospital with how the officer is doing tonight. But we begin with our Alan Carter at the scene of the shooting. Alan?
And Jenny, police tell us that this all actually started around the corner. This is at the Lowe's on Post Road. That's where they believe that shoplifting incident happened. They ended up catching up with who they thought would be the suspect. And this is where that shooting happened, where that officer was injured in the street at this scene that is still very active at this hour. No one we talked to said they heard the shot, but they immediately knew something serious had happened.
We just seen a whole lot of police cars flying around and with the guns out.
They was going in their trunks, pulling out guns, and oh, Lord.
Police tell us officers were tracking a robbery suspect. They found him, got in a fight, and that's when the officer was shot.
I stepped outside, and then that's when I saw the police officer on the ground, surrounded by two other officers who seemed like they were trying to help him.
Other officers quickly surrounded the suspect.
That's when they got the dogs and the guns, and I don't know how many went over there, and they just, hold up, stop right there.
Police did not immediately have suspect information.
We don't have any investigative details to share right now. It's very early on.
But we did see someone taken into custody at the scene. A scary situation to hear an officer is hurt, especially when you live so close.
When there's an officer that's been shot or hurt, you know, the officer's first and foremost is to come here and help.
I guess what's scary is to know that a police was shot. That scares me because I didn't know how, and you know, people are so brazen nowadays. You know, that's pretty, to me, that's scary.
And those neighbors tell us that the officer was loaded up in a squad car and taken to Eskenazi Hospital. That's now where my colleague David McAnally is continuing our coverage.
Alan, the police department has not yet released the name of the wounded officer. They say some family members are still trying to reach other family, so we may not get that name until tomorrow. As hospital staff worked on the officer in the ER, outside the ER, a strong show of support. Outside Eskenazi Hospital, a field of red and blue police lights. Just some of the officers who escorted their wounded fellow IMPD officer from near 25th and Post to the ER Sunday night.
The officer that was shot was treated quickly on the scene by the officers that he works with. They put him in a car and transported him here to Eskenazi. He is still being treated, but we can report that he is in stable condition.
Officers carry trauma kits in their units to help wounded civilians usually. Those kits do save lives. Sunday night, it was to help a fellow officer.
Right now, it's just one bullet wound, and he's being treated for that and is in stable condition.
And he was conscious at the scene?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, he was.
Police say a reminder of the threats officers face daily.
It is. We have some fine men and women out there that are protecting our communities every day, and they're willing to do these things, but it is at times a dangerous but a very, very rewarding profession.
And again, it may be tomorrow before we learn the name of that police officer who was involved in that incident. Police in their written report described his condition as good condition and then stable. David McAnally, Channel 13 Eyewitness News at Eskenazi Hospital.
And I know we are all relieved to hear that he is in good condition and has all that support from Metro Police. David, thank you for that live report tonight. Tonight we are also waiting to learn more information about the suspect and, as Dave mentioned, still waiting to learn the name of the officer involved. Be sure to follow Eyewitness News online and on our app for instant updates. Then get the latest on this breaking news on Sunrise beginning at 4 a.m.